E-UNEEK KEBREAU. I hope I got the name right, man, and I don't want to butcher your name.
Yes, you know, E-UNEEK.
E-UNEEK. I got the first part, you know. KEBREAU, right?
Yes, KEBREAU.
All right, so KEBREAU, welcome, my brother. Welcome.
I'd like to say a big thank you for inviting me.
Well, most definitely, man.
TV.
All right.
I appreciate the love and the support, you know.
Definitely.
It's always about planting the seed and building together.
Exactly. And that's what we're about. Exactly, yes. Man. Yes. That's what we're about. And I'm happy. I was listening to the last track that played, and I'm very I'm magnetized to things like that. So I'm excited because, you know, we have to be the voice, you know what I mean, for our people, and I do appreciate that. You know what I mean? That's what we're about. You know, music with a soul, you know, music with roots, you know what I mean? Someone could listen to and be inspired and make changes to their lives, and especially in our community, what's happening, you know.
Well, the funny thing about that particular song, when you talk about 300,000 lives lost, the earthquake happened in Haiti, it took a lot. Yeah, it took a lot to write that song, you know, because there was a lot of pain felt, you know, when you have family, friends, and such an impact that that earthquake left on so many lives, and you know, words cannot explain.
Definitely,
you know?
definitely.
So my way was to contribute, among so many other things, was for me to write and be the voice, you know, for the people that couldn't, or, you know, couldn't reach as far as I can, as far as the platforms that I have, you know.
Definitely.
So the name of the song is Kimun Kap Sauveyo, which means who's gonna save them.
Who's gonna? Okay.
Yeah, and that's the reason I said my people, your people, our people.
Our people.
And the funny thing is, in our community, I wrote the song about the earthquake, but in general, especially when you see what's going on in our community, you know, so many things in our community, it seems like our people is desensitized, should I say, with crime and everything else.
Definitely.
So when you talk about all the things that that we deal with, it's about the change that we need and the things that we need to get across to communicate properly with each other. So when I say my people, your people, our people, we are so connected, and a lot of people think just because you living somewhere else, or when you're in a neighborhood, what happens is you could be in a more upscale neighborhood, right? But at the end of the day, the things that's happening in the community affects everybody.
Definitely.
I definitely So it's important for us to be on the same page and, you know, connect those dots.
Definitely. And I agree with you 100%. And, you know, you speak about that earthquake in Haiti. It was devastating. I want to say the cause of it, Haiti go through a lot, man. And, you know, and it's for a reason. Some of the things happen there, you know, political, you know, and even from the time during slave and that 8 years war that they had, and, you know, when you find a people that is strong and resilient and rebellious against, you know, their enemies, it poses a huge, you know, threat to the colonizers. I want to use that word. So, you know, a lot of things happen to Haiti, you know, deliberately. You understand, the economy and certain things. It's good that you would be able to sit down and recognize that, you know, because a lot of warriors, man, and, you know, a lot of strong-minded people who don't agree with how the system works, or agree with, you know, the colonizer and their ways and what they're trying to impose. It's a good thing for you to see and be the voice of those people, as you said, using, you know, whatever means you can, using the platform that you have to kind of, you know, educate them. And there's a lot more to educate our people on, basically. And I'm saying our people because you said we are definitely connected, brother, sister, all over. We're just scattered in, you know, we're a part of the diaspora. So definitely, you know, and it's good. And to hear that, because that's what I'm about, you know what I mean? And when I hear, you know, this song, I said, okay, yeah, you know, we're dealing with something positive. And that's what we need. You know, that's not just Haiti need, that's what the whole entire, you know, diaspora need to learn from each other, and, you know, the great minds come together and bring this out to us. So I have to commend you, my brother, for that.
I appreciate that. And you know, and as you talk about the history, from the time I started creating and, you know, doing music, I've always felt there was a void in the Haitian community on a mainstream level. Right. So one of the first songs I wrote, it was about the history of Haiti. And, you know, and as you said, you know, what Haiti's been through and how important our history was. So I said, one of the greatest events in human history, the Haitian Revolution, we fought for our independence aggressively and shattered the myth of supremacy.
Exactly.
At the height of slavery, the first black republic in the hemisphere, revolutionaries wanted slavery to disappear like Boukman, Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Alexander Pétion, Henry Christophe, the heroes that set the revolution off and defeated the Bonaparte. You didn't know? Whoa. The defeat of Napoleon paved the way for the United States to acquire or use part of territory from France, and the Louisiana Purchase nearly double the size of America. I'm telling you. Once Haiti's Republic was declared, Haitian revolutionaries have nurtured freedom in other parts of the hemisphere. They helped liberate Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, while others continue to migrate to Haiti to escape from Caribbeans like Grenada, Jamaica, and Cuba. This event will move you. It will move you. So I vent for this magnificent moment in history and what it meant to people of African descent.
Exactly. Powerful words.
So, yes, my brother. So,
and I hope you guys are learning and taking notes here. You're getting history.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
You know, in full living color right here. History and no joke thing. I mean, this real history. If you guys out there familiar with the history, then you know exactly what he's saying. You know, and Haiti's been, you know, one of the pioneers. You know what I mean? And that revolution, it kind of, as I said, it put fear in a lot of, you know, European countries.
100%.
So you understand why they would keep the country impoverished, and every effort that they put out would to try to keep Haiti in a certain state. Because how do you deal with people of that magnitude, right, with that type of thinking, and how they stood up and challenged you for like over 8 years? You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
I mean, how do you deal with that? People that you would say that they are subhuman, because this was one of the title that they give to us, right? And we weren't equal as they are, and we were able to outsmart them in every way, you know what I'm saying, and defeat them at that, you know what I'm saying, and claim your rights as a people. And by doing so, the European, you know, countries, all of them was against you. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, they paint a negative image of Asian people as if Asian people are a disgrace to the planet. But that's, you know what they did.
But our community is resilient. So as far as what we did in 1804, I think there's a lot of work us as a community have to do ourselves, because what I notice is, while the enemy or whoever's, you know, implementing these type of moves to keep or to stagnate, there's a part of it also we have to take responsibility, right? So like even when you look at our community, that's just like someone throw you in the jungle, right? And you know there's lions and things like that, right? And the whole idea is for survival. Okay? So when you're in the jungle, there's certain things you know you have to do to survive. So how long do we keep having the same conversation, right? And making sure that we handle certain things from our end as a people, so we could keep, you know, because, I mean, from where we came far, right? But there's so much work that we need to do as a people ourselves. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So we could help push the agenda further.
Exactly.
Perfect example, like in our community, there's things that I feel that that's going on now. Yeah. Like anytime something happens where there's with the police or whatever the case may be, or crime, there's bloody murder, people want to protest and things like that. But meanwhile, there's genocide that's happening in our face every day in our community. I mean, our kids are being murdered every day. Like, I mean, at what point us as a people, like, enough is enough of this? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because it's always easy to point the finger and not to take away from what we know that's going on. But at the same time, we have to be able to be real with what's happening in our backyard as well. I definitely agree. So like that, there's a balance. So because the thing is, we always need to be able to balance things, so like that we can move forward. Exactly. And I definitely agree with you on that. And those are the things that a lot of people don't talk about. I know. And I think that's important for us to have that conversation. Of course. Because we as a community being affected by these things. Of course. Of course. Where do we go from here? That's the whole thing. And how do we get there? Because see, you know, it has to do with a part of the brainwash system, and how slavery kind of affect a lot of, you know, a lot of the way how we think about ourselves as a people. We're so disconnected from our history and all of these things, and we become more dependent on European things. It's hard even for a country. You know, it's like, for example, you grow up, you know, and say dog meat was the food of choice, right? Okay.
you grow up eating that. It's difficult for someone to come later on and tell you, oh, you know, this is not good no more. You're gonna say, well, my grandmother eat it, my this eat it. It didn't do anything to them, so why can't I continue eating it? This is the mindset that our people have, and they always want something new. They're looking towards European instead of starting, okay, you know what? This is our country. Let's start cultivating agriculture, doing things like this. Do not depend on these. Once you start doing that, you're opening the gate, you know, for these people to exploit you. And this is what's happening to, you know, the Caribbean and most Haiti and other, you know, black countries out there. Depending too much on the white, on the Europeans, it's not getting us anywhere. We have to build and start planting and developing our own things.
But at what point do we?
You know?
Well, at what point do we keep having the same conversation?
Exactly. That's the thing.
And, you know, because if me and you stand in front of a brick wall, right, and we say we need to get to the other side. So the first day we're looking at the wall. Damn, that's a tall wall. We need to get, a week goes by, we still saying the same thing.
Exactly.
And you know, so I mean, there's a point that we have to figure it out because we have enough intellectuals. We have enough people with money. We have enough people with power. And again, like I said, that doesn't take away anything from what we know that's going on. Whether
exactly,
it's
of course.
It's not that we don't know.
Exactly.
But we have to change, find a way to turn the channel.
Exactly. And that's what we have to do.
And that's what's important, you know?
Yeah. Making a step, implementing changes.
To make a difference. Exactly.
And it's not going to take 1,000 people to start. It's just going to take a small group, small community. And then it will, you know, it will spread from that.
I'm gonna show you.
And that's the main thing.
I'm gonna show you a perfect example. Like with the music, I have an idea to bring new genre. The name of the genre is called H Factor Music, and push that mainstream to help empower and, you know, promote the Haitian music on another level, right? So in the interim of doing that, I found artists that lives in Haiti and started working with them and empower them. Move some of them out of Haiti to, you know, so they could have, you know, like a better life and, you know, help finance, you know, their livelihood and everything else and work on them with the music so we could be able to implement something, right? So my point is I didn't just talk about
exactly. You did it.
I did something to help empower some of our brothers and sisters to bring about that change. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, so that's just one example. Yeah. But the main objective is to leave a legacy.
Exactly.
Because you actually see what hip hop's done, what reggaeton done, what reggae music have done, and how many lives has changed. Yeah. So that's just one aspect of our culture.
Exactly.
And once you promote your culture, it also gets a lot, like Afrobeats is a perfect example.
Exactly.
Afrobeats done took over the world with the dances, the culture and everything, and it's important for us to be able to transcend. And music is one of the tools that helps you transcend, you know, and connect with people.
And the talent, as you said, talent is there. It's just a matter of the you know, turning the light on that area, let them see, well, see, there are talents here too as
100%.
well. And we're not incapable, you know, we're definitely not. We all are creative. Our culture is very rich.
Exactly.
You know, we were split up and scattered different places, but we're the same people. You know what I mean? We're coming from the same root. So definitely our culture, you know, some other countries are suppressed and others, but, you know, I think that's a good idea and it's a huge step to take. And even with that, I definitely wish you, you know, you know, all the best and I hope you accomplish that goal, man, because you need that. And that's, as you said, that's one step, but there's so much other facets to go. So, you know, but definitely, I mean, history here, E-UNEEK, man, we're here, we're talking. It's a very interesting interview, but we're going to get into it because we have to talk about you. We have to talk about your music. We have to talk about all these things. So first, let's start with your name, and how do you get that name? And, you know, give me a little background on where you're from, and, you know, your influence growing up, you know, who were your influence growing up in the music?
Okay, well, my name's E-UNEEK KEBREAU. You know, growing up, I used to always like to dance and always been, you know, very active, stuff like that, martial arts and a whole bunch of other things. So, you know, my mother used to, you know, give me like that little nickname like Unique, stuff like that. And, you know, growing up, I've always liked entertainment. You know, that's always been one of my things. So, for the most part, I've always like think outside the box. Yeah. I'm always trying to do something different and, you know, and not follow the norm, right? So we had a group. It was me, my brother, and this artist named Shaz. We used to go to on tour with Divine Sounds. We've done stuff with Run DMC, LL Cool J. You know, so you know we worked on a lot of projects with them, and we just continued. And I went on and I started working into projects, you know, on my own as well. And I got into politics, and you know, was elected in the Bronx as district leader, state committeeman.
Okay.
And music has always been the forefront, even during while I did politics. And you know, for me, when I look at community, right, and even with music, it's always been a thing for me with connecting with people. Yeah. You know, so using those tools for me has been just being able to transcend on different levels, connecting those things. Because whether you're putting a party together, an event, it's always about bringing people together, right? And finding ways to build on that collective energy and frequency. You know, because many times, especially nowadays, when you're doing music, it's about a movement. You know, like even with record companies, anytime they're looking for artists to sign, they're not just looking for, you know, like an artist that just have music and that's it. You know, they want to know that you have a movement and something connected to your music bigger than just the music itself. You know, so I've always had that in me, you know, to do. So, so within creating this genre, I felt that it was important not just create something for me, but plant that seed so we could have other artists doing it as well, right? So that's the reason I call it H Factor music. H Factor stands for history, heritage, humanity, harmony, heart, right? So I basically take the Creole music, Racine, Raga, compa, mix it with hip hop, jazz, classical, reggae, classical, you name it, and that's what makes up, you know, the foundation. But keeping the Haitian music as the foundation of, you know, the genre. Yeah,
definitely. So you're from Haiti originally.
Born and raised here.
You were born and raised here, but you're strongly held on to your roots, definitely, and your culture. 100%. It doesn't matter where you're born, basically. As you know, slavery, we could get in all of that. And how we were split up, and we were taught just to speak the language of our, our slave master. That kind of, separate us even more. But we know the plan. So you grew up here, and you got into music. At what age did you, realize?
15. I would say about 15. I mean, where it was serious.
It was okay. So you become very serious at 15,
Yeah. So off and on for a while and things like that. And I used to have a TV show where we reached 6.5 million households, where people used to call up, pay $2.50 a minute to talk to me and stuff like that. We used to play videos and things. So there's been a lot of seeds that's been planted along the way as far as
to this point,
communicating with people.
To this point, your music, how would you explain your music, and what would you want for people to take away from? I know it's some very powerful lyrics, have a lot of history in it, but what do you want for people, not just the Asian people, but basically everyone that connects to your music? What would you want them to take away from your message?
Well, what I want people to take from my message is understanding, like, when I write from a perspective of a broader connection and frequency. The reason I say that, because the thing is, everything I do, it's not about me. There's a saying I say, I'm not trying to be. Right. So meaning is a lot of people wait until an artist is successful. That's when, in their mind, that's when they become who they are already. Right. So for me, when I write to speak for the voiceless and to connect with people so they could feel empowered, so they could see and understand that you can do this too.
Definitely.
Perfect example, like the song that you said you like, Kimu Kap Surveyo, right? So on that song, I wrote it from a perspective of the brothers and sisters that's in Haiti, that's experiencing, all the trials and tribulations, and the people who are here that's trying to support them. So in the song I said, at times I sit in a daze in disbelief. How come my country's such rich culture, history fall beneath? Hundreds of years of political rubble piled up. Somebody passed me a shovel, but that wouldn't be enough. Inside, so much stress just bottled up. Life shouldn't have to be so rough. I get frustrated as most do. So many solutions, none come to fruition. on you, hoping, begging, pleading, wishing, praying, yelling, screaming, screaming. So venu, family and friends, hear me do the little that they can do. If you hear me out there, I need your help too. Confused minds saying it's the curse, it's the signs of time. Then time ain't no friend of mine's. Through the suffering and pain felt every moment, second day, week, 365 days. Please keep on your safe belt. The hurricane wasn't enough to drown them. This earthquake had the nerves to find them. As you watch CNN in shock, bodies lay there, the stench of death in the air as they round them. Kimu kapso ve yo. I want to know who's gonna save my people, your people,
Definitely.
our people.
Yes, and I said it's very powerful lyrics. And I'm sure a lot of people who, you know, listen to it is going to find it so. For you, how do you define, you know, success for you? You have accomplished a lot. You're an entrepreneur. You have a creative mind. You know, for you in the music business, like where you at this point, do you feel like you have achieved, you know, I don't want to say enough, but do you feel like you have achieved a substantial amount that, you know, motivates you to continue?
100%. You know why? Because every day that I wake up, I have you know, I could take a deep breath and get up to fight another day, change another life, my family lives, my friend lives, and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel successful and I feel blessed.
Okay.
Because when you think about the bigger picture, your life is not promised to you tomorrow. So what else do I need to, like, money is not what's going to make me feel successful. Money is just a tool.
Yeah.
But having life and being able to have peace in your life, being able to be happy in your life, being able to have love in your life and things like that. Once you have those things and have the money, now the money just, it's an extra icing on the cake.
Definitely.
Look at COVID.
Yeah.
Look how COVID came and just
changed a lot of things.
You know what I'm saying? So in our lifetime, if that wasn't a wake up call on how real it is, how things could change from 1 second to the next, I don't know what it is. And for me, like I thought like that already, but that was an extra wake up call.
Definitely.
Like, I appreciate every step. Like even being here, you opening up this platform for me to be here to reach all the viewers and things like that, to communicate this message. That's a big deal to me. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what every step is a big deal to me.
Definitely.
And me being able to be blessed to change other lives and open a platform and empower other brothers and sisters, that's a big deal as well.
Okay. You're putting music out there, and you've been doing this for how many years now have you been putting music out like professionally?
I started since I was 15, going on tours, been on different record companies and things like that. Independently, I sold over 300,000 CDs and things like that. And like I said, you know, for me, it's been one of those things that I love and I enjoy. So, so as I'm doing it and stuff like that, you know, that success, whether be it money or my piece, came within me. Okay. It wasn't the materialistic things or the money or anything like that. I was always content of something that I love to do and enjoy communicating, connecting, you know, creating and taking it to the next platform. Okay. You
know? Were you driven by, you know, now you're at this point or some point in your life, or was it always you know, you've been doing cultural music, music that connects people to their history, what's happening in our community? Was it always like that for you, or was just a time when you decided, like, you know, was it when you started out, was it always doing cultural music, or was it just, okay, I'm gonna rap and because it's something that you love? Was it, or was it you know, a wake up call that you got and say, you know what, I need to do this now?
Well, in life, when your calling comes, you just know, right? So I've always did all types of music, creative, you know, street, you know, and reggae, you name it, right? But the history, that void, which is still there, right? Because when you look at the Haitian genre of music in general, there's a fact there's not a genre that represents the Haitian market mainstream today.
Yeah, sure.
Like when you say reggae, like when you say Afrobeats, when you say reggaeton, and so on and so forth, there's popular music within the community. But when you talk about mainstream, that glass ceiling haven't been broken yet. So that's one of the things that's important for me to assist, make happen.
Definitely.
Or you know what I'm saying? I would prefer it to be me, because there's a lot of seeds that have been planted. So at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about opening that door so we could do what all those other genres have done. You know,
so they could follow your footsteps.
Because the thing is, it's not just the music; it's the lyrics also. Because like within the lyrics, I could say, "Somebody stop me, pass me, pass him, my tools outil, so I could fix ranger the mindset of the people. How qui Jean Munyo pense." So I flow back and forth with the language and things like that. Exactly. You know?
Definitely. And that's a very unique thing to do. So, you know, you have any albums out, or, you know, it's just mainly singles that you've released?
Lately, it's been singles.
It's been singles.
And it's funny because you asked that question, because I have a few singles that's getting ready to come out besides like some of the ones you heard previously. Yeah. But I've been focusing on the artists that I'm producing, and the artists like you know, and I have out of the 10 that we're going to be working with, there's the first artist that we put out. One of the songs have 4 million views already, and we have another one we put out called Lem Fashion Feb. That's Junty Beats and Kim Yu, and you know they have close to over 700,000 on that one. So, and they're definitely very promising artists, very talented and stuff like that. And we're gonna, you know, hear some of their tracks as well. And that's what been my focus right now. And then we got a couple of new singles that we're getting ready to drop soon, and shoot a video for them also. Okay,
so you do have a lot of projects that you're working with, and you are producing as well. Yeah, as I said, you're an entrepreneur, and you're working also with other artists. For you, right? I mean, how do you view yourself? An artist, all around. I mean, how do you put yourself? Where do you put yourself?
Producer, you know? Manager, event promoter. I have a shoe line. Like, you know, look, for me, I'm just in that frequency.
Multi-talented, right? Multifaceted.
Exactly. Yes. And you know, the name of the record company is called Seuss Music Group.
Seuss Music
is Seuss means source in Creole. SOUS stands for Source of Universal Sound. So that's what Seuss Music Group.
Seuss Music Group. So you're working with some new artists. I'm sure we're gonna hear some of them in time. What's the end goal for you? Like, because you're doing music, and I know you have a vision. You know, you have in your mind what you want, you know, to see come to fruition. So what's the end goal for you?
The end goal is, number one, taking over the world with this new genre, and let that empower so many others, you know, and change their lives and stuff like that, you know, because it's about leaving a legacy. And it's the same thing as we spoke earlier about the community, being able to come to create things, create our own banks, you know, our own hospitals, our own schools. Talking about it isn't enough. Exactly. You know, it's enough rich brothers and sisters, you know, all across the world that if we get focused and put our heads together, these are things that we need to implement, right? And the thing is, it's not about just being black. It's about being able to have a cohesiveness and working together, right? Because even with music, look how popular reggae music is, right? And when you go to the concerts, you see whites, you see Chinese, you see a mix of people that's willing to learn and build and connect. So, but at the same time, we have to find ourselves and make sure that we plant the seeds that we need to plant, so we can grow healthy, strong, and make a difference.
Definitely. You have done a lot of tour. You've performed a lot of places. You also have music out. Just tell me a little about the reception, how people react to your music, as I know you do different types of music. And give me just some deeper insight on the ones that are what you'd consider more controversial, and how people receive those type of lyrics or, you know, music.
The song I wrote about the history of Haiti, that's been a song that's been dear to me, because, you know, number one, what it means, and for me, that would be considered a classic, right? Not a classic just because of the words, but a classic of from the time I created it, the response and every single time I perform it, you know, it captivates, and people even come to me afterwards and talk to me about the impact and what it means to them. And you know, I remember parents who walked up to me one day after seeing a show, and they purchased a CD. And then her son had some type of essay in school, and he used the actual information and got 100 on the test. That meant the world to me, you know. So it's things like that, when you plant that seed and that's able to make a difference, that's a big deal, you know. And that's what it's about for me. Like while I'm doing the music and things like that, I wanted to somehow impact people and connect the dots, right? And I think, you know, all of the high profile places that I even perform the song, it shows volume on who's listening and how powerful it is and transcending.
Okay. So it's well received in those circles.
100%.
Some of your influence growing up in New York. Just give me a few of them that you kind of get inspired by, saying this is, you know, these artists you look up to, and you know, get you started in the rapping game.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's a good question, because in the beginning, you know, with a lot of the artists like Run DMC and Jay-Z, the usual suspects like Nas and things like
during
that.
During that time, right?
Yeah. So the bottom line is, for me, catching that vibe and things like that, it was more that while I respected what they do and appreciated what they did, so I could, you know, build my lane, right? Because as an artist, whether it's Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, Beyonce, I think for a successful artist, you have to find yourself.
Definitely.
In order, because it's a sea of artists.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course.
And it's just like dropping a pin in a haystack, and you know, and you'll get lost. So the bottom line is, what identifies you, that makes you stand out, that people's gonna you know, like even on YouTube, you know, the amount of music, forget about it.
I know.
You can sit there all night, like one artist after another artist.
Definitely.
So finding creative ways to connect with the, you know, with your movement and the fans and things like that, and hitting that nerve, you know, because the thing is, there's a terminology we use in the music business. It's called the it factor. Yeah. And some people just have it, you know, and then on the flip side, you have people working hard their whole life, and someone just wake up one morning, stretch, and decide to go on the internet. Next thing you know, they viral.
Definitely.
without even going to the studio to spend any large amount of money on it. Efforts, So you just never know. But at the end of the day, when you're serious about your craft, you do what you know best, and just stay focused and believe in yourself and believe in God first, and then
definitely.
And the rest let it play out. Exactly. You know.
Yes, I'm here. E-UNEEK Skunk H TV, as we're going into history and, you know, the business of music, you know, and artistry. You know what it is. And do remember, guys, the number is there. You can call in if you want to have a chat with E-UNEEK right here at Skunk H TV. Yeah, as I say, we're talking about history. You know, it's so much that's been missing, right? We're the descendants, you know, of our ancestors, right? And we're in the land of our captivity still. Jamaica, Haiti. Sometimes I don't like the fact that we're labeling, because some of these names weren't given by our people, but by the colonizer. And I just want to ask you your perspective on that. What do you think, you know, about these labels that they give us? Because it has done a lot, and it created a division among, you know, our people, for the fact that we were all maybe family member, close family that, and we were separated because sons were sold, daughters were sold into different places. I mean, just give me your perspective on that, and what do you think about that? Should we continue as that, or should we begin to look at ourselves from a different viewpoint?
Well, I think the most important thing was to do some soul searching, because if the narrative is that, okay, we've been so brainwashed and we've been so conditioned to act like this, and we know that, at what point do we say enough is enough?
Is enough. Yeah.
Is enough. I mean, at what point? Because the thing is, like, you can't. Okay, let's say you're walking down Broadway every day. You get your behind kicked on Broadway. Why would you keep going down Broadway?
Exactly. Detour. Take a detour, right?
No, but we got to figure it out.
Definitely.
We have to figure it out. And no one said it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
But whether it starts with 3 of us, 2 of us, or like a whole movement, an institution, whatever it is, let's figure it out.
Okay. You have thought about this, I'm sure, because
I don't have all the answers.
I know.
And I don't claim to have all the answers.
Definitely.
But if we bring together like-minded people and not the crab in a barrel mentality, that makes a whole world of a difference. Because a lot of times you come together with, I've been at a lot of tables where the intentions was right.
Yeah.
But the people wasn't.
It wasn't, exactly. It's difficult,
You know
as I said, it's very very
you
difficult.
start off with the right intentions, you put 10 people, brothers and sisters in a room, and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna move this mountain, and then this one start hating the way you climbing the mountain, and this one wanna pull you down the mountain, and this one wanna kick you to the side of the mountain. Like, I mean,
I know the effect of slavery still plays a part in our daily lives today. Yeah, and the crab in the barrel mentality. We always use this against each other.
We got to talk about it, man.
And
that's we got to talk about it. Because, you know, a lot of times we have conversations and we miss those conversations because we don't want to talk about it.
We don't, exactly. Like, and it makes people uncomfortable, but the truth is the truth.
Yeah, you can't go to the doctor and you have cancer and the doctor tell you you got a common cold.
Exactly.
You got to talk about it.
Exactly.
And examine those things, and let's take care of that, whatever the issues are.
Exactly. And that's one of the problems. Most of the times we go back to the old rhetorics, and we talk about crab in the barrel, but we seems to forget who gathered the crabs and put them in the barrel in the first place, while the crabs were living freely, openly amongst each other, wasn't fighting, wasn't doing. Who did that? And create an environment where now you're into survival mood, because that's basically what it is. Everyone is trying to survive. Even in the ghetto here, it's difficult. Because the have-nots, now we want something we never had before. And we'll fight each other just to get it. Anybody you put in that type of environment would have turned out, it would have been very vicious. To the point we're still here. We didn't annihilate each other,
so I got
to a certain extent.
I got a question for you from that perspective.
Yeah.
And what you just said. So do you think it's impossible?
No, it's not. Definitely not impossible.
Okay, so what would you think would be the key? Because if the mentality, and we keep going around in circles, right?
Yeah.
So what would you think that could be implemented to make that difference? Like, I think at least a start.
Yeah, I think, as you said, like-minded people, and we don't need a lot. I think a small community, and everyone is on board. We don't, because you can't recruit everyone at the same time. But few like-minded people start out in a small area, and then we expand from there. I think that's one of the most important things to do to start. Trying to gather everyone, it's going to be a confusion, it's going to be a waste. But once they begin to see the work of a small group and the prosperity, and they begin to understand, they will begin to understand, everything is going good. And say, maybe this community called, say E-UNEEK, this community is nice. Everybody's living, loving. Let's join it. And as they come in, the rules and the regulation that it's established, following those things, then it begin to spread. And I think that's where we have to start out. A guy like you, people like me, and other people like ourselves, we just need to start a small community. But a lot of times we talk, as you said, we have no action behind it. You know what I mean? Exactly. But we have to force ourselves to get it done. If we have the interest of our people at art, I think that's what we have to do.
Perfect example. When I took the initiative to start working with the artists, I could have went ahead and did a fundraiser, reach out to the community, because I think I've been in the community long enough for people to respect the credibility.
Definitely.
But I said, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my money, do what I need to do, and make that change and stuff like that. Because, because a lot of times being in the circles and seeing, just being part of something else, I see a lot of the games that's played, and I really don't have no time for that, because there's a humanitarian crisis in Haiti, and for me, it's not a game.
Exactly.
So we wasn't born with the money. Yeah. And when we go, we ain't going with it.
Exactly.
So whatever I could do within my power to change someone else's life, that's what I'm going to do.
And that's a great thing, man.
Period.
And I see you're very passionate about that.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to see success, and we're going to see results in the future.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward for that as well. And as you said, it's not just about the music or the genre. There's so many other things. and other groups of people need to come in, and the unification need to start.
Yeah.
I said, a small community, we start there, we can be very powerful in the future.
Another thing we're doing also, we also have a veterans organization called Worldwide Veterans Family Service, where, you know, we help veterans, you know, and we're opening chapters, you know, all across the country and stuff like that. So that's another thing I'm also part of as well.
Yeah. And I think, you know, even here, you know, in New York, in Brooklyn here, the Haitian community is very strong. Very together. I wouldn't say non-violent, but you don't hear much about Asian people, you know, as far as from Haiti. I know it's different there. It's a lot of, as I said, the crab in the barrel mentality it's, you know. But here in the US, the Asian people tends to stick together, and they have, you know, some great community here with Asian people. How do you how would you view that? Like, you know, for going in those community where these people are close knitted, and you know, kind of, you know, waking them up on the idea that, you know, listen, this is where we at, and you know, the history lesson, you know what I mean, and say, this is where we at, let's implement change from this point on forward.
Well, see, the thing is, when I'm at a table, right, I try to look at it from a perspective of I'm not only going by what they are doing, right?
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if I come to the table and there's something that's not making sense to me, I'm not gonna stay to the point where it's gonna drain the positive energy or the perspective that I have on what the word empowerment means, right? So if my thing is making sure that if we're gonna do something, we're gonna move forward, or I'm going to move out.
Exactly.
And it's really that simple, because the thing is, with the Haitian community, from my experience, like any other community, there's good situations and there's bad situations. But at the end of the day, what's important is making real change so we can move forward. And like you said, there's been a lot of progress. You know, a lot of elected officials now in the Haitian community, and you know, a lot of positive things are being done, but we still got a long way to go. You know, because the thing is, with all the powerful Haitian brothers and sisters, there's not that power ain't on a level where we could just change Haiti on the magnitude that we would need to.
Definitely.
So the thing is, being able to have, you know, lobbyists in place to make a difference and affect the government, so they understand that we're not playing as a community. So we need to change not tomorrow, but right now. The Black Lives Matter movement proved that when you stand up, things could change overnight, right? So the thing is, there's things that I didn't agree in general with that movement, because the thing is, when you talk about Black Lives Matter, I want to see that word transcend with our brothers and sisters. When you see the killing in our community, the black on black crime and things like that, I want to see that word stands for a life being taken, not only if it's being taken by someone outside of our community.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it should matter. It should matter if we doing it to each other.
On every level.
On every level.
Just, you know, not just because another person.
Yeah, because I live in reality.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if your daughter or your mother or your family member have to be worried about a bullet, you know, getting hit by a bullet anytime they come outside, that's a problem.
True.
And in those situations is you know, something serious just need to be done.
Yeah, I think
like words can't even explain. Like
I know what you mean. For me, the Black Lives Matter, I never believed in it, and I think all our efforts here under the rulership of these people is going to be very difficult for us until we learn, you know, to separate ourselves. We did pretty good before, you know, about Black Wall Street and other communities that were destroyed. We did good without interference. As long as we're here, it's going to always be this, and fighting for human rights and all of these things that are, you know, in this age and time. People should not be doing that. You know, when integration began, it wasn't a contract on the table. Like, okay, you guys are coming in, this is half, this is half. It wasn't that. Is you come in and we're going to rule over you. And it take away a lot of our creative, you know, ability, what we would have done on our own. But so we gave everything up just to come and be a dependent on the system or the people that oppressed our people for so many years.
But the thing is, I never had a problem with the initial idea of what that was supposed to mean.
Yeah,
it was supposed to go straight and it went left, right? Like for the value of what that meant.
Yeah, well, exactly. But it
didn't end up.
It doesn't convey that at all.
100%. You know, because I never had a problem with it initially until I was watching the movie and
the slogan channel is good.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the slogan is good, but the I guess behind the curtain, it's not effective in ways that it's supposed to be, and
there's so much that we could have did with that.
Yeah, if I don't know, I don't know.
By now we should have had schools,
but who is behind it?
Banks and all types of things that we need to implement to move the community forward, and
definitely
things like that. And that is the bigger picture.
Exactly,
you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like building our community,
that's
and creating institutions that represent us, as a community.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And it's more about us empowering ourselves and knowing who we are and knowing what we represent, more than just being okay, it's about us as blacks. No, it's about us being individual who know our worth, and then we transcending and representing that worth because we know our value.
Exactly.
And implement those values.
Exactly.
At the end of the day,
that's it. That's what it's
being black, okay, I'm black, but what do I care about my community? Do I empower people? Do I give love? Do I share? Do I connect with my community? I mean, there's so much that goes with being who you are,
exactly,
and what that means, and how that transcends and comes across.
Yeah, I think there's an intimidation, especially being here in the America, living here, and have to fight, for our civil rights, fight for everything that we need. I think this is going to continue for a long, long time. It wasn't intended for us to even be here in the first place. You know what I mean? Yet we're here, and there are a lot of politics that's going on, a lot of conspiracies as well. We fail to recognize, what's happening or what's going on. There's two lions at play, right? And we're the praise. We keep voting for one of the lion because one of them. The trick is one come the good cop, bad cop, scenario. It's been playing out ever since. So we have the Democrat and the Republican part. Both parties have their agenda, and both of them are friends. And in the end, it's just a monopoly. And we're here. We're just a part of that. How do we get out of it? Well, it's very difficult.
Well, we do the voting. I mean, so like,
But, you say voting for me, right? And I just want to be honest for a second. For me, voting does nothing. You've been in the political arena, right? I'm not in the political arena, so I'm outside. But for me, from observation, studying, and knowing what's going on here, I don't think voting did anything. I think someone took, a loaf of bread from you, throw you in a pit, and then send his brother to come to you and bring a slice. And when he give you that slice because you're hungry, say, "Oh my God, thank you, you're so good." And this is the game I think they've been playing with our people. It's not going to be an equal playing field at any point. This is a white country where white people want to be free in their own country. This is not going to go away as we think, because there's a system, right? There's a caste system that is in play. How do you get rid of that? Are they going to get rid of it? We're going to continue trying to challenge to get, and something happen. As we calm down, something else again happen, and the same thing repeat itself. You have seen it over and over. Abdul Louima, I mean, all of it, man. Sean Bell, we've seen this repeatedly, and it will continue. I don't think it's gonna go in. Even if we have, even Obama, what could he have done? Because there's a system. Is that you can't go in a company, right? There's a board there. How do you make changes? You can present your ideas, right? But they decide whether or not they want your ideas to even succeed. So it's very difficult how to change something that we're not equally a part of. It's very difficult. I mean, what do you think? I mean, that's how I view the whole thing from the outside, right?
Well, everything starts with education, right?
Most definitely, I agree with you.
With education. So the thing is, no matter what it is, I don't care if you get into real estate, if you're trying to, whatever you're doing, having the information, it starts with that, number one, right? Because even within the information, you find out where the bodies are, laid.
Yeah.
And then having the right people who know how to make the right moves to implement something. Because the thing is, of course, you're talking about generational wealth.
Exactly.
So the time it would take you to catch up to that game anyway. So the bottom line is, where do you start to build something? Yeah. I mean, okay, let's call it a space of space. Like someone like Jay-Z. Yeah. He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Most definitely not.
So even him as an artist had to figure out the game in order to be on a level and status that he's on, right? So now, while he have that power and while he have the light on him, depending on what he does with that power and that information, how he's able to help the community and bring about the change that he can do within his power. And there's a lot of rich brothers and sisters. So I mean, is it a fact that they're being told not to? Is it the fact that they don't want to?
That's what I was going to say.
Because I never had that personal conversation with him, so I can't speak for them.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm asking the question. I'm not saying it. I'm asking the question.
Of course.
So the bottom line is, with all these things in mind and at the table, when one of us, even on our level, planting the seed, or no matter what level it is, at least it's a start.
True.
To begin the conversation of being able to, how do we stop doing the same thing and expecting a different result? How?
I know. I weigh and balance the whole thing, and as I said, what I've observed, what I've seen, this is what it is. The reality, of it. And I'm talking about from the communities that existed before, right? And what they did to destroy those communities. It's, it's a sign for the generation to come, like, listen, don't attempt, to do certain things. But as long as you go with their flow, they'll help you, a few steps up the ladder, and they'll give you a position. As you said, are they telling them not to? It seems that way. Why so much of, these multi-millionaire has done nothing for their community? They never talk about anything else. How much control do they have being, in a part of the elite? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess that would be another.
But the thing is, but how about making sure you get a piece of the pie? So because the thing is, here go the thing, right? Let's say this table is clear. There's nothing on this table, right?
Yeah.
And you want to get on the table. You need to figure out how you get to the table to be able to have that conversation.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying? Because the thing is, if you're not at the table and you outside the door, you're trying to peek in the hole, in the keyhole. Exactly. Like, we need to be at the table and make that happen. And I think that's the best way.
But finding way to the table, this is what we got to do now.
But it's possible.
It's a struggle. It is possible.
Okay then. Okay, so
it's a struggle.
So you're not at the table. Let's build our own table. Let's create our own table.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, if there's a will, there's a way. You definitely have to figure out, how do you plant the seed so you can move forward.
Definitely.
Or go and keep going in circles.
Definitely. But my brother, I have to thank you, man. I wish we could go on all night because this is history and knowledge. And, we talk music, man. Yes. And you have your music out. You have a lot of singles out. Tell me what's new coming out for you.
Well, my artists, John T. Beats and KEBREAU, there's a few songs that they have that I would like to, share with everyone.
Okay.
And things like that. They're very promising artists, and I've been working hard on taking them to the next level. Okay. So everyone out there definitely needs your support. It's not about me. I'm just the vehicle.
Okay.
God got this. Let go, let God. But I'm just the vehicle, and He's given me the power to help change other lives, and it's important to me because the thing is that legacy opens doors for other people, and other artists and other opportunities and stuff. So we're gonna share some of the songs of John T. Beats and KEBREAU, and check them out.
Definitely. For you, if anyone wants to find you, contact you, give them your social media.
Okay. You could go to E-UNEEK KEBREAU. That's E-UNEEK KEBREAU, KEBREAU. The contact number is 646-938-5031. And basically, you know, Seuss Music Group, you know, once you put that on, you know, on Instagram or anything like that, you could find me, or E-UNEEK KEBREAU. And then you have Jaunty Beats and KEBREAU. And you'll find all the information about the artists on those platforms as well. You have at E-UNEEK1, that's at E-UNEEK1. And what else? It's been a beautiful show. Man, you know, sure good vibes and stuff, you know. But the artist is what's important right now.
What's in exactly.
Making sure, you know, we got a couple of songs we getting ready. Actually, I'm going to be going to Dominican Republic soon because we have a video to shoot out there with the two artists and stuff. And we also have, you know, an artist named DJ Winner. He's another artist that we working with also. So it's a whole bunch of them. But
yeah, we're definitely gonna play some of the song. We'll take a break. I don't know if you want to do a performance when we come back, just a little touch, or you know, it's up to you. It's up to you. Just a little. Well, you did spit some lyrics. Exactly. So you guys, you already here. You know, I mean, E-UNEEK. And the talent is there, you know, and you have songs on iTunes, all the streaming platform. So they at E-UNEEK KEBREAU, right? They could go check that. You can check that out on iTunes. Go check the artist out, become a fan, become a friend, go to his social media. And make a connection.
H-Factor Music.
And H-Factor Music. You know, spread the good vibes and big up all, you know, my Asian people out there.
Lord of mercy.
You understand me? You know. Kapase Babule, right? Sapase Babule. All right.
That's why that song has a Sak Passe. They want to know what's good in the hood.
What's good in the hood, right?
Yeah.
All right, big up all my Asian people out there for, you know, that's tuned in tonight. My brother, I have to thank you so much. You know, there's a lot of there's a bright future, man.
I appreciate that
for you. And we're here. We're looking to see, you know, you succeed in all your attempts. You know what I mean?
You.
I have some great ideas, and I hope, you know, they've been implemented, and you know, you succeed from that. The sky's the limit. We thank you again. It was a pleasure having you here. You know, it was a history lesson at the same time, and we kind of talk good about vibes. Things. You know, the vibes was good. They always tell me to read the bio, but I don't like to do that. I like to go, you know, organically. You know, we can talk and bring information and have a better conversation instead of mechanical. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I want to thank you so much, E-UNEEK KEBREAU, for passing through. We're going to play some of the artist music. Everybody out there, I hope you guys stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. And take a listen to the artist.
So while he's getting the music tuned up, he ready, right? All right.
He's ready. Wait, so you want to spit a little freestyle for them in the meantime?
They say, yo, G, man, our gun, arrogant. It's our vet representing those people of Haitian descent. Don't really care about being the most popular amongst y'all. Try to stop my progress and my viewpoint, y'all. Like a thief in the night, I'm gone, y'all. Kisalier, Haitian-American, born, sworn, the rep. Our theory shocks you every day. Plus at this, not a minus, Haitian-American finest. In Brooklyn, it's where you can find us. I was raised in Brooklyn, made my dough in Brooklyn. Poisson, Giapa Collet in Brooklyn.
All right. See there? E-UNEEK, big up yourself and everybody out there who tuned in, man. We thank you, my brother, again.
My pleasure.
Please come through anytime.
Yes, this is Jaunty Beats and KEBREAU.
Definitely. And let's chat, man. Anytime, you know, you got some time or bring the artist them come through.
Oh, yes, definitely.
You know, let's talk about it. We need to kick the doors down, man, and open up. You know, let people know that, yo, listen.
You know, I make sure when we get the first Grammy, we're gonna bring it right here for you.
Of course, definitely.
That's right, on Scout House Radio TV.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Just come through and give us a link anytime, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
E-UNEEK KEBREAU. Here at Skunk House Radio, we're going to get into the vibes of music and listen to some of the artists that he is producing, and I hope you guys enjoy that. Thank you so much, my brother, for passing through once again.
Finiment,